So just when everyone was waiting for the OneUI 8.5 update, Samsung went ahead and dropped the OneUI 9 beta based on Android 17. And yeah, props for the speed, because if you remember OneUI 7, yeah, if you know, you know. Anyway, when it comes to OneUI 9, there are features that Samsung has revealed, and then there are features, hidden changes that Samsung, heck, nobody's talking about. And also, are things smoother now? Well, we did a smoothness test, and yeah, this is Rupesh. You're watching Sillycorns. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. And I'm going to tell you every single little change. So let's start right from the start. See, OneUI 9 feels different right from when you are setting up the phone. It's a lot cleaner now, and tapping start first takes you straight to the Galaxy AI feature screen. So yeah, AI is more important than ever, or maybe it's just a beta thing, we'll have to see. And when you finally boot in, there's a lot of noticeable visual changes. For example, there's more blur in the passcode screen, quick settings panel, the finder, even the app screen if you can see, and even the search bar in the app screen now has this slight translucent effect which wasn't there before. So yes, more like stock Android 17 on the pixels. Also, just like Android 17 on the pixels, whenever an app accesses your location in the background, you'll now see a blue dot on the top right corner and also in the notification panel, so you kind of know. And yes, the settings app has some changes too. Like the Samsung account page is cleaner now, and there's 2 new tabs, rewards and subscriptions, to track your Samsung Care and other Galaxy Store purchases. And like OneUI 8.5, which removed explanations for a lot of these settings sub-menus, OneUI 9 does it in a lot more places, like here or even here, basically everywhere, except modes and routines, which actually gets more organized with categories and explanations now, which was kind of needed honestly. And the digital well-being and parental controls are split into separate sections now, with some features like you can set Play Store filters so your kid doesn't download 18 plus apps. Earlier this was only for the Galaxy Store. The auto blocker feature has this new stats page which shows you history, basically how many times it blocked apps in the last 7 days and 6 months. And yeah, there's some new graphics everywhere. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this one. No, just now. Now moving on, what is an Android update without some big changes to the quick settings page? I mean, Samsung already added a lot in OneUI 8.5, but OneUI 9 takes it to the next level. Like the brightness and volume sliders are thicker now, the border is gone, and I personally don't love that, but you guys tell me. The good thing though is the dark mode and the sound mode buttons are separate now, so you can move them around freely, which also means the sliders themselves can be bigger and smaller than before. And yeah, you can now resize the media player too, so you can change it to a tiny square like OnePlus phones, or a biggest box, however you like it. Also, take screenshot is now called screen capture, and power saving, wireless power sharing, performance profile, all of these have moved to a new battery and performance section, so neat. And that's how quick settings actually has a nice surprise. Not Max, the animation. I mean, no matter where you play your music, from YouTube Music, Spotify, wherever, you'll notice this new wavy animation, and not just on the quick settings, but on the now bar too, which by the way has a more 3D look now. And when you tap buttons, they animate, nice. And when you expand the split, it has a more bouncy animation and a whole more immersive look. And yes, the ugly media output button is just an icon now, so yeah, more beautiful honestly. And just for fun, here's OneUI 9 versus OneUI 8.5 versus Oxygen OS 16.1 lock screen. Yeah, you tell me which one looks the best. Let's just settle this in the comments. And while we are on the lock screen, there's one new clock font, the one on the left, plus some styles now show date before time. And when you add new widgets, they show up in this horizontal order for better user space. So small but nice changes all across. Anyway, one of the big questions I had is if OneUI 9 is actually smoother compared to OneUI 8.5, and I didn't notice a difference straight away, but there are some actually good changes when you notice closely. For example, when I long press the home screen and tap widgets, the animation is smoother now. Same thing when you tap the search pill in the app screen, the whole animation of it expanding and popping up feels more buttery smooth. And same with the search bar in the settings, very smooth, no jitters. Even the folder opening animation is more refined, not something you'd catch at normal speed, but slow it down and you'll notice it. Now yeah, the app opening and closing is more or less the same as OneUI 8.5, but overall yes, OneUI 9 does feel smoother compared to OneUI 8.5, so kudos to Samsung for that. And I really hope we see a difference in the phones like M05, M06, F0, phones with long updates and okay performance. Now moving on to the new features, there's actually quite a lot. First up, Game Booster now has more boosters. Like you can toggle bypass charging from right here, you can adjust the screenshot format, even change the screen resolution directly from here without leaving the game versus OneUI 8.5, which just takes you out to the settings page. Yeah, BGMI players will be happy with this. And then there's actually something interesting in the Notes app. Yep, the Notes app has this new tape feature where you can put decorative tapes or even a band-aid over sensitive stuff in your note before sharing or showing it to someone. And you can customize the thickness with different colors, different patterns. You can also auto-adjust it based on text size, and this is super useful when showing your payslip to someone, but there's that one number you don't want them to see. It also works with S Pen by default, but just turn on finger drawing if you want to use it without the pen. Apart from that, there's also some new accessibility features, like this new text spotlight, which tap on any text anywhere and it just makes it a whole lot bigger, so easier to read, simple but nice. Plus, you can now replace swipe with single tap for alarms, calls, and alerts. So if swiping to dismiss things annoys you, this one toggle changes it everywhere. And then there's even a what's new button right here if you want to check out all the new accessibility features. When it comes to stock native Samsung apps, a lot of them seem very similar coming from OneUI 8.5, but there's actually some hidden changes. First up, there's the phone app, which now auto adds a space after 5 digits when typing a number, so easier to read. And when you're on a call, it shows recent call details with the same contact in a little pop-up, which you can tap to minimize. Contacts app now has a direct shortcut to create a profile card using Creative Studio when you're on the edit contact screen, so super handy. Now inside the Gallery app, the colored studio icon is now colorless to match the rest of the UI. Screenshots open in the smaller view first, just like iOS, and you can tap it for the full screen view. And then there's the Calendar app where OneUI 8.5's hide past events options is now renamed to hide events from previous days. And now coming to the Files app, if you remember, OneUI 8.5 also brought the new category design, but it's now changed again. Even the downloads category is gone, and the manage storage page only shows you the essentials. If you want to see categories, you'll have to tap here. And if you go into the search settings, there's a new show suggestions option to show or hide these recommendations. And it's not just Samsung apps, there's a lot of hidden stuff pretty much everywhere. First up, which has got a quite little refresh. Some have new colors, some have changed sizes, and some just move things here and there. Yeah, you won't notice it unless you check side by side. And the connectivity labs and Wi-Fi settings got some new extra options too, like this robust Wi-Fi connection. But the big deal has to be network restriction. So you can now block certain apps from working at Wi-Fi level. Like if I don't want Instagram to work at my office, I can just do it here. I mean, Instagram will still open, it's just that it won't load anything. And you can even set a downtime so it starts working again after my peak work hours. I mean, it helps to reduce distraction if you just can't control your hands. There's also a new labs feature to hide the app handles in split screen, aka this tiny bar. So much cleaner view when using two apps. I mean, a small thing, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, I know a lot of you wanted Secure Folder to get some new features, but it's mostly the same, but you do get more auto lock timer options, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. But yeah, the auto lock to exit option ain't coming back. Sorry guys. Also, if you use GoodLock and you want to use this OneUI 9 beta, do note that the GoodLock modules are still not updated to work on this latest OneUI version. So yeah, something new. Now, it's not all good changes and features. In typical Samsung fashion, there's actually a couple of features that have gone missing. For example, I noticed the option to wake Bixby while music or video is playing is gone, probably so it doesn't interfere with Gemini, I don't know. I mean, do we even care about Bixby? I don't. Next up, the Finder had an option to choose what apps you wanted to search in, and that's gone too. Actually moved to the settings page here. And yeah, features that were removed in OneUI 8.5 are also not coming back from the dead. Yeah, single take and dual recording were already moved to camera assistant, and now night mode joins them too. So if you want it, you'll have to enable it from there. There's also a new warranty and care app we saw in the leaks. Basically one place to check warranty status, repair costs, even book service. And I couldn't find it in this beta, even with Activity Launcher. So maybe it'll come back in a future update, or maybe not, but I really hope it does because it actually seems useful. Anyway, OneUI 9 is clearly more about refining things, making things smoother, adding features that are actually more meaningful. Yes, some features that we have been waiting for are still not here, like native app lock or even a network speed indicator in the status bar. But do note that this is the first beta and Samsung will be adding more features soon. So yeah, just something to note. And yes, the OneUI 9 beta should arrive on more phones soon, and I'll add a device list for all the compatible OneUI 9 devices in the description down below, so check it out. And yeah, do note that this will be the last update for the legendary Galaxy S23 Ultra, so enjoy it while it lasts. And if you're someone who uses a Galaxy S22, it's time to upgrade. And not to this.